Okay, so to solve this inequality, we can solve it by graphing, or we can kind of solve it in another fashion. But if we're going to graph this, what we can literally do is, you could use your graphing calculator, but if I don't allow that, you can actually graph it. Let's graph that first. First of all, is that going to look like exponential growth or exponential decay? Decay, very good. Why? Because b right here, your base is between 0 and 1. Good. So if I plug in 1 for x, what do I get? Or let's start this. If I plug in 0 for x, what do I get? 1. Okay. Okay. If I plug in, of course, I did the wrong color. Now it looks purple. That's okay. All right. If I plug in 0 for x, I get 1. If I plug in 1, what do I get? 1/3. Good. So here's 1. So I'm going to go up to 1/3. Probably right about there. And if I plug in 2, what do I get? 1/9. So that's going to be even lower. So that's going to be kind of like here. Okay, let's go the other direction now. What if I plug in -1? What do I get? 3. You guys all in agreement with that? Okay, good. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, now if I plug in -2, in this case, because I don't have a lot of room, I'm going to go way off. So let's just leave it at just plugging in these numbers. And then I can kind of draw it like this, coming down. Okay? Now, if I want to graph this one, let's plug in those numbers as well. When I plug in 0 for x, what do I get? 1. So they're going to crisscross here. When I plug in 1 for x, what do I get? When I plug in 1 for x, what do I get? 1/2, which is going to be above 1/3. Okay. When I plug in 2, what do I get? 1/4, which is going to be above 1/9. Good. And then when I go back to -1, what do I get? 2. Okay. And if I were to go to -2, I actually might be able to graph this at 4. It would be kind of over here. All right, so then I'm going to draw this. Look at this coming down. Okay. So if the question is, when is this greater than that? When is the blue line greater than the red line? For what values of x? When x is what? What values of x will make the blue line greater than the red? Where are the y values in the blue greater than the y values in the red? What values of x? Yeah, when x is greater than 0. Good, so the answer is going to be x is greater than 0. Not greater than or equal to, greater than. If this had an equal to sign in there, then that would as well, okay? We could also put it in interval notation. How would I write it in interval notation, please? Very good. Okay. So that's how you would do it graphically. Does everybody see that? That's how you would do it graphically. Now, remember I showed you a kind of more algebraic way? Remember that before when I just wrote stuff down? So let's do that right over here. So I'm going to start with when x equals -2. When x equals -2, what does this equal? When x equals -2, what does this equal? What? 9. And what does this equal? 4. Is that true? No. When x equals -1, what does that side equal? And what does that side equal? Is that true? No. When x equals 0, we all know what's going to happen here. When x equals 0, what does that side equal? 1. What does the other side equal? 1. Is that true? No. Yeah, technically not, because it's not less than or equal to. If it were, then that would have worked. When x equals 1, this is the easiest one. What does that side equal? 3. What does the other side equal? 1/2. Is that true? Yes. When x equals 2, what does that side equal? 1. What does the other side equal? 4. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Now, the point is these are going to keep, this is going to be even more obvious as it gets bigger. This is then, when x equals 3, this is going to go to 1/8. This is going to go to 1 over 27. It's even more less than that. Does everybody see that? And then up here, this is just going to go, if we were at negative 3, this would go to 27. That would go to 8. That's even more of a difference. Does everybody understand? So these are only getting further apart here and further apart here. And this is where they crisscross right here. So as a result, this is always going to be greater than that in any positive values of x. And it's always going to be greater than, this side's always going to be greater in any negative values of x. Does everybody understand that? I don't care which way you do it. If I put a graph on there, I want you to actually graph it to show me, because I want to make sure you know how to graph it. Okay? But you need to understand, concept-wise, I don't care if you look at it in this fashion or if you look at it in this fashion. Okay? As long as you explain. Everybody understand? Does that make sense?